Lights up!
Well, hello everybody and welcome to the latest episode of Lights Up, the podcast of Putney Theatre Company. I'm delighted to say that I'm joined here by the cast and the director of our studio production, Constellations. So welcome Clare, George and Rob. Thank you for coming along on this rather wet Wednesday evening. Now Rob, you are directing Constellations.
I am.
Now am I right in saying, is this your first studio production that you directed for Putney?
Yes, it was the first production I've directed for Putney.
First production?
Yes.
Well, this is exciting.
Yeah, exciting, vaguely terrifying, but...
In equal measure, I
yes. hope. I'll say more exciting than terrifying, but that may change.
And so can I just ask, why did you choose Constellations?
Constellations is a play I've loved for years now. I saw production of it a few years ago with 4 different casts kind of taking it turns. And it's a cosmic love story, and it operates on this grand scale based on a conceit I'm sure we'll explain in a minute, but it's also incredibly intimate. The first page I was crying on the last page, so...
All the emotions. And the studio is a brilliant space for doing an intimate production because it's small. Only like 40 seats have we got there for this production?
Yeah, I think 40 seats exactly.
Brilliant. Now, Clare, welcome to Putney, although you first appeared in Much Ado About Nothing over the summer, and now you're back. We didn't put her off, thank God. So you're back playing Marianne. Please tell us about Marianne. Who is she? What does she do? Why is she in part of this play?
So Marianne is a cosmologist, works at Sussex University, meets Roland at a barbecue, kind of a very quick initial attraction. And throughout their story, I think you see her change massively from someone maybe slightly insecure in the way she first approaches Roland to someone who holds her own.
So do we meet you both at the beginning of your love affair, or do we meet you at the barbecue?
You meet us at the barbecue.
Oh, exciting. Yeah. So the very, very beginning.
Very beginning.
And we follow that journey, and, well, I don't want to give any spoilers, so we won't do that.
No.
So now, George, now again, cast of Much Ado, so welcome back. Again,
Thank you.
Yay, we didn't put you off. Phew. And you play Roland.
I do, yes. Roland is a beekeeper. He's friends of the people that are throwing the barbecue, and he's, in the various iterations, kind of just minding his own business when all of a sudden Marianne barges into his life with a tale of why you can't actually lick your elbow.
Oh.
And it's an interesting
You see,
hook.
we now do know that everybody who is listening to this is now going, what do you mean I can't lick my elbow? Is
Yes,
now desperately trying.
and we know that you're trying right now, and you can't because it holds the secret to immortality. If everyone could lick it, then everyone would live forever, and you can't just go on living and living and living.
I
And
love
that's
this
where we
concept.
start. Yeah.
And I feel that we need to tell children that immediately when they say, why can't I lick my elbow and try? Because it's the secret of mortality or immortality. I'm hooked already, literally, on that first thing. So we follow, I'm assuming, the love story of Roland and Marianne and the trials and tribulations that affords probably every relationship.
Yes.
But tell me, how do a cosmologist and a beekeeper get on? Because it's both nature, isn't it? I'm thinking.
It is. And I think how they get on depends on the universe you're experiencing them through.
Exactly, because, in some universes, they get on like a house on fire. In some universes, they really don't.
They don't.
And in that, we've kind of given away the premise of the play. We snap from various different timelines.
So it's like sliding doors. So how does this affect the writing of the play, Rob? Because has Nick Payne sat there and written 43 different versions?
There are essentially 8 key sequences, one of them, for example, being the barbecue, and within those you've got different iterations, and they play out partly based on decisions, partly based on kind of existing circumstance, and I think there is some through line in terms of you'll get an idea of maybe what's at the core of the relationship.
Right.
But yeah, it leads to incredibly unexpected places in terms of how the scenes, they can start very similarly. They often do and go completely wild tangents.
But it's all scripted though.
It's all scripted, yes. Yeah.
We're not just
We're
improv on the night.
don't think we
Let's have a
could.
bust up at the barbecue.
I say you've given it away. I was going to mention that this evening.
Nuts.
I just ask the audience, where should we meet? At the bus stop? No, a barbecue. Oh, I was getting so excited. So this is a very interesting concept, isn't it? How relationships can basically turn on a dime, I guess, depending on those particular moments in time. And is it actually the universe affording us those different situations, or is it about the choices that we make as individuals? George, I'm going to let you answer that one.
It's a difficult one. Some of the universes are very much dictated by the choices that Roland and Marianne have made. We see them at some point in a rather sticky point in their relationship, and they're in that sticky point because of those choices.
Are we going to be shouting at you both? Obviously not out loud.
You might be. You might also be cheering for us in those moments. You never know. It depends very much on what we see. As far as the free will element goes, it's a wonderful exploration into that. Some of the problems that they face are exactly the same in each. We'll cut from one iteration to another iteration, and the dialogue hasn't changed at all. But it's up to us to decide the previous circumstances, what's happened in this universe, how does that flavour how they react to it, and the free will that they have to hug and make up, or keep on shouting, or just sit there in silence for a little while, or...
So do you decide which version you're going to be doing?
They're in an order, but we
Right.
we have completely made up the backstory for each. It's a wonderful play as an actor to approach, because in most plays you are playing one character in one universe who's making the decisions and dealing with them throughout the course of the play. In this play, we are 14 different versions of the same character, and having to create universes and previous circumstances and relationships on that.
That's brilliant, because
Yeah.
of course, as an actor, you're absolutely right. You know what's happening because you read the script, I hope. Whereas,
I'll do it on the night,
but this basically is. It is the reality, although be it scripted. It's still giving you as an actor so much scope to actually play around with that. Is this the first sort of play like this that you've ever tackled as an actor?
Yeah, where there's been so much free range to actually change. And Marianne is Marianne, but in every version, something different has happened to her to make her this version. So as an actor, you have to really consider what's gone on before, what's happened, how she's changed, and why she's become this person who's making these decisions. And it's in plays with a more
Well, it's more rigid,
sequential,
isn't
I
it,
suppose.
really? Yeah.
Yeah, you don't always get that choice.
No, exactly, because it's written for you.
It's written for you.
Whereas this really is, I know that people, have different views about backstories, etc., but this is actually integral to the play itself, because unless you know, I'm assuming, every sort of facet of your character, then that's really hard to be able to implement that into each of the different universes that you're going to go into. This sounds brilliant. I'm really jealous. God damn it. This is fabulous. So you're both professionally trained, is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so this is your second production with Putney.
Yep.
Where have you acted before in London?
So I've done some work with SLT, the South London Theatre Company.
We now have many friends at SLT.
Yes, indeed.
Shout out to South London Theatre. Woo woo. Yeah, brilliant. Oh, lovely. And Clare, now you did tell me you've come over from Ireland
I have.
recently. So you trained in Dublin.
Yes.
And then you've come over.
I came in January, and my first production was with a company in East London called KDC. Up until about 2 weeks before the show wasn't written. It was entirely improv to build a character and build stories. And we dove in. We didn't get a full run at all. Our first full run was our first show. Which,
Excellent.
as devised pieces go,
Yeah.
tends to be the way.
Yeah,
so,
been there.
But it was
Yeah.
great.
But also, that's great training for you for playing Marianne, in that if it's
Exactly.
devised, you're almost devising it yourself, although scripted.
Yeah.
So am I thinking, Rob, is this what drew you to Constellations? Is that it's so brilliantly written?
Yeah, so
Ways.
there's so much kind of potential to it. I think, I've mentioned having seen it previously with 4 different casts, and they all were able to bring something new to it. So there's so much kind of dramatic material within that to uncover and discover. And one of our process was essentially we'd approach each iteration and say, okay, what's the intentionality here? What's gone on before this? How does this differ from what we've just seen? And basically, it's almost like a bit of a mood palette as you go through. And yes, some of them are very funny. Some of them are deeply sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wonderful little play. That's also about the nature of reality and free will.
Well, I was going to say, so what are the major themes? George, you go first.
Ooh, boy. Free will, you mentioned already. String theory physics.
Sure.
Well, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beekeeping, a lot of it. But it's also, these grandiose themes boil down to human connection, a lot of love, the messiness of relationships as well. Not to give too much away, but there is a big problem present in most of the universes that we see, and the various ways that our two characters try and address that, relate to it, work through it, around it, over it. It's an incredible example of resilience of the human nature, of love against all odds.
I was going to say, please tell me love conquers all.
You'll have to come and see it.
Oh, you see, I was really trying for a spoiler alert there, dear listener, but guys, too good.
Yes.
And what about you, Claire? What do you think the other themes are?
I mean, I think a big thing Constellations deal with is the concept of soulmates, and whether in every universe there is a person you're meant to be with or not.
Or not. And so
And
this...
do you always find your way back to that person?
Well, that is the million-dollar question, isn't it, really? That is there one person for us, or are there many people for us that we'd all be equally happy with, but we just depends on how we and when we find them. Now, Rob, remind me, when's this fabulous play on?
September 23rd to 27th, with a matinee as well on the final day.
Which is the 27th. Now, my darlings, it is in the studio. And I know you get very bored with me saying this, but it is true. Studio shows do sell out before the run starts. So please do go and get your tickets at www.putneyartstheatre.org.uk. We're very much looking forward to seeing you there, 23rd to the 27th of September. I'm in, kids. I mean, just from when you said string theory. Right?
Maybe.
And what a cosmologist is. Do I learn about beekeeping though, George? This
Yeah.
is very
You do. You
Do
learn
I?
that there is a speech that I have to do several times about the different kinds of bees.
Are you really hoping there's no one in the audience that is a bona fide beekeeper?
I had not thought of that. Now it's now going to occupy my brain. Thank you.
Whilst you're doing the monologue. Excellent. Guys, I know you've got to go and do your rehearsal, but I can't wait to see it. I think this is going to be brilliant in the studio. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you back on the stage, both of you. And Rob, as your first time as directing, I can't wait to see what you bring to this. Thank you so much for coming and chatting tonight, and I'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
See you in 2
Thank you very
weeks.
much.
See you.
2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
This is a real Putney Theatre Company production. Do share the podcast with your friends and take a look at our website, searching online for the Putney Theatre Company. So that's it for now. See you next time.